We are Ovid with Reverb, and this is Alter Ego.
My alter ego master poet, he has become a drummer again. The reason why it's plain to see for me at least, if no one else. His drumming can be out of time, but better than his dreadful rhymes. And worse indeed, by needing help, I helped him with a recent project. Working on some half-baked verses while he slept in some distress. And when he woke we argued, yet he seemed contented more or less. But later when I'd gone to sleep, he tore up all the work I'd done and threw it out with all the drops. Deleted all the documents I'd modified and changed the password. Now his whole career's in tatters. Some may say it always was. And I, an artist, sad to see my alter ego so despondent, nonetheless can draw some comfort. Heartaches that he had with verse, but hearing them was even worse. But one thing that he doesn't know, I salvaged from amongst the dross. The recent project, or at least a part of it, say roughly half. The rest he must have burnt, I think, or thrown away with household waste. Detritus of our daily lives, deserted, overrated, sell-by dated, food outdated. What you're now about to hear is what was found and rearranged. I knew Laocoon, a sculpture writhing snakes and tortured father, guided Titian, others too. And so my poet, other half, believes he's found another link between the ancient and Renaissance. Writing by the poet Ovid, in translation by another, going on to greater work, inspiring Shakespeare, greatest poet in Renaissance English verse. And then an opportunity. A seminar in mid-July on Ovid exile in Constanta, where this exiled poet died. He was invited, asked to give a presentation, write a poem based on musings over Ovid, though these musings were unformed. But nonetheless, it was a plan for my old poet, hardly knowing what he's doing. Never mind. There is a glass or two of wine. He writes some lines, gets stuck and drinks, then writes some more. That's great, he thinks. Ideas came and went, he wrote and stopped and drank some more. And turned to me his other half, a patient, caring other half. An artist half that compliment his poet half that drinks and drinks. A sober half that listens to his drunken half in drunken ramblings. Other poets, other times, and how they brushed against their times was swept away. He had a plan. The problem was to write it down. My alter ego master poet struggles over every line. and rambles on ad infinitum, bores me witless every time. And now he's lying in despair, all drowned in sorrows and red wine. The cause of his unhappy state, he cannot write beyond verse 8. I thought I'd take his tortured musings, edit them since he's asleep, and add some more to ease the pain of hearing all his dull refrains. His normal way to write a draft and change it maybe 50 times. And doing this to get it right takes 50 weeks, you see the problem. And so despair took hold of him, and now he's drunk and fast asleep. The clock is ticking, seconds flick, and day by day and week by week the deadline looms. But I can help, not needing edits like himself, but happy with whatever line arrives as long as it's in time. So here's the story as we are. I have one night to write this verse. Before he wakes up in distress, makes further mess in anguish, states of this fine mess, and complicates. And maybe use a 4-beat time. He is a drummer, after all. I bought a case of vintage red, said, "Hello friends, this is my home. I've cooked a meal of sauce and pasta. Have a glass of wine or two before repast is served to you." The time went by, my friends piped up. "We've brought some wine, let's drink that up. Your red's divine, but rich for us, we need conducive company. Our throats have more a modern palate, suited to our modern taste and not your ancient fusty ways." But saying, as the worst of hosts, that "You're quite wrong, my wine's the best. Please, have another glass or two, I bought a case, a perfect order. Soon you may begin to guess, we have a vintage elegance, so rich in body, sharp in tongue, a taste that resonates and strong. And don't despair of quantity, drink up my splendid company." They all agree. I go to piss. The front door slams. Something's amiss. I had a dream a while ago, remembered it a verse ago. My hall was split and cleft in two, and I could talk as half to half, converse and even joke. I thought at first I would get bored, but quickly found that I did not. And using I meaning we both had fun and funnily did not get bored. So let me show in lines to come this dream of talking with my other one-to-one. I bought a vintage leather jacket, asked for alter ego's thoughts. He said,
"My God, but it's revolting. Hope you've kept a till receipt."
"But poet, you will wear this jacket just as much as you wear me."
"Not so,"
he said.
"The fit's appalling. Taste like in your verse is lacking. 4/4 time is fine for tunes. Without the riffs it kills the blues. And vintage jackets way too tight are bad for fading, aging types. The lines are poor, it's all regression. This old cut is nothing new. A boring take on older patterns, fitted to a weaker frame. Discarding background tunes although they tended to be all the same. Discarding modern styles in verse, or rather what came randomly. To have a thought and write it down and change it till it finds a form. But here the form's imposed on verse whatever thoughts it might enclose. And this will mean a different voice is heard, unlike the one before. Poetic, less of common speech that wanders where it will and more, is not arcane and not a bore.
But poet, I must carry on and persevere in this endeavour. Try injecting life in form that may constrict it practice wrong. But practice right might come to life. And writing length is easy when it's in a predetermined form.
All right,
He said.
I see the point, and no Cassandra will I be, and though this jacket's worse than bad and must go back from where it came, the verse could do with some improvement till a final judgment's made. Although perhaps we're wasting time, both mine and yours, for I will listen to your thoughts and rushed amendments, making much encouragement, though time of course is better spent in drinking and in arguments.
My poet, thanks for this support. I love your lines, the phrasing's sweet. The feet are meter. Who wants more? Unless they grow 100 feet. I know your skill, so help me now in sifting verse, a perfect eye for errors, poor mistakes of thought, and I will take your words to heart. I know my plan might be a folly, building up a lyric verse with old designs, and even worse, with hubris waiting for a curse. And argument, I love it too, the cut and thrust, the much ado of nothing. Yet there is a subject worthy of our finest minds, this poetry. Our thoughts may fly and tear apart the worst ideas, praise what might be overlooked. What marriage could be better suited? So without much more ado, I'll write some lines and see you later, waiting for the latest draft, anticipating all my gaff.